Smith for Nevada Trails. So I have a very special show. I have Bethany Drysdale of the Department of Tourism, Nevada, and we're going to talk about some things. But first, I wanted to talk about a little soaring trip. My girlfriend bought her mom for her birthday present, a 70th birthday present, a soaring package.
Oh,
and this is over at Soaring NV in Minden, and to be, like we said, we promised to bring people into the area, and our mom's from Citrus Heights, and it kind of starts out where she's at our house in South Lake Tahoe, and she's a little bit nervous, and then you can, as you watch the show, it kind of builds up, and you can see from her face what this trip did to her. I swear to God, it turned her like into a 12-year-old kid, maybe even younger. Her face was pure joy, and everything is nothing's touched. Everything's just a series of pictures I took, and the ones up in the air are just pictures that she took, and we're not photographers. We don't even claim to be. And you might see a little glow of white, and that's her leg kind of shining in the window a little bit. And so if you go soaring, maybe wear some black pants so you don't reflect onto your pictures. But in any case, Jeff, show Deborah's mom's 70th birthday. And we're back, and I tell you, that was the best 70th birthday present I've ever seen. And we started off the day in South Lake Tahoe, and if you see from the first picture, she was a little bit apprehensive, going down. And then as we got used to the environment, we watched actually one of my videos from the past in their locker area, and she started relaxing, and you could tell the pilot, he was kind of thinking about business and things and getting the other plane lined up. And then as soon as it became time for him to just soar with her, he started relaxing. So he was no longer a businessman. Now he was just the pilot of the plane. And Jeffrey does a great narration. And she was very, very happy with his work. And basically soaring, she said the highlight was when she was up there, she was allowed to pull a lever that releases you from the tow plane. Ugh. And your glider slows down. The airspeed slows down, and then it gets quieter. Yeah. And she just said that it was almost like the plane was going in reverse sometimes. It was just gliding so smoothly. So anyways, thanks to Soaring NV and for giving my girlfriend's mom probably the best birthday she'll ever have. And thank you very much, Jeffrey. And Bethany, what do we have for tonight?
Well, today we're talking about the Berlin Ichthyosaur State Park. Don't make me say it too many times because I'll butcher it, I'm sure. Berlin Ichthyosaur State Park. Berlin is a ghost town. Ichthyosaur is our state fossil, and they were found there, so we'll get into that in a minute. This state park is out basically in the middle of Nevada. It's Highway 50, a little ways, go to Middle Gate and take a right. That'll take you south on 361.
361?
361, okay. And then you turn on State Route 844, and that'll take you out there. The last couple miles of road are dirt road, but it's very well maintained. I recently went out to Bodie in California, and that is, the world famous ghost town. This easily rivals Bodie, and it's not on that horrible washboard road that it takes to get to Bodie.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just the most amazing ghost town, and I know we've talked about ghost towns before.
Well, I love that kind of thing, and every time you come here, you find a new treasure, and this sounds like another one.
It is. I feel like I've been everywhere in the state, and I'm still finding new treasures. And for me, this was one. That's why I'm really excited about it. It's just one of those neat places where you think, how does this exist, and how do people not know about it? Like I said, it rivals Bodie. The buildings are so well maintained. It's easy to get to. There's not as many buildings as Bodie, but they are really well maintained. Great interpretive signs everywhere you go, so you can read about what you're looking at.
Well, our parks have the best stuff. They're always telling you, everything, explaining things. And speaking of explaining things, what's a
Ichthyosaur?
Ichthyosaurus, I don't know.
Well, the Ichthyosaur is, it'll take a minute to describe it. It's a prehistoric, really prehistoric sea creature. We always talk.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
The big ones with like the fins, kind of like the hippo, but bigger like an elephant with the big long ones.
Yes, exactly.
And the small little head.
Small head and kind of a long snout. It predates even the Lahontan Sea that covered most of Nevada. Back when the world was really one big landmass, Pangea, the name for it. What is Nevada was actually down kind of by the Caribbean, and it shifted that much in that amount of time. So these animals were ocean animals, ocean reptiles. So they had bore their live young, breathed fresh air, so they'd come up for air. Anyway, they died, of course.
Well, I think that's what's in Tahoe is Tahoe Tessie.
Yeah.
I've always believed that.
Yeah, it could be. So the Ichthyosaur, they are found all over the world. The only continent where they are not found is Antarctica. They're found all over, but Nevada has the largest specimens of them. So it's really quite a find to have them here in Nevada. So that's where the Ichthyosaur part of the park comes in. And we can start with that. The Ichthyosaur, these fossils are huge. Nevada has the largest fossils found anywhere in the world, 50 feet long.
50 feet long?
50 feet long. They were discovered in the 1920s. And really, they were surface level. So hikers, anybody out exploring that way in the 1920s may have sat on one thinking it was a rock. And here it is, a prehistoric fossil. Just amazing to me.
Well, in your pictures, are you showing these as they go behind us?
Yes, they're going behind as well as Berlin. So we'll see both as you look behind us.
But a 50-foot fossil?
50-foot fossil. We have the largest, as I said, in the world.
Well, how do they have these displayed?
They are right where they were found. Oh. So it's this big mound. They built a structure above it and around it to protect this find. They have not been moved, but they've been kind of glazed to set it aside or set it apart from the rocks and the dirt. But you can see these glazed fossils in the dirt, and you can see the spinal columns. They've got them all numbered, so you can kind of know what you're looking at. The rangers out there are the most amazing people. They know this stuff like the back of their hands. And so the tours, they do 2 tours a day during the summer months. You can go along on a tour. I believe the tours are $3. And it's just amazing what you can learn, and learn about the history of the area, how they were discovered. The park didn't become a park until the 50s, so we had a good 30-year span from when they were discovered to when they were protected by the state park. It's just amazing that they're still there, that they're so intact. It's just such a find.
Well, maybe it's kind of quiet, or good that they're kind of quiet, because maybe there's not so many people, but that sounds fantastic. I know it's like, kind of sounds like the beginning of Jurassic Park, where they're out there digging.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's a real one.
Real one right behind them.
But the 54 foot or 50 ball, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's, it's easy to say, wow, something is really cool, but this was really cool when I went out there and saw it. I thought, how have I not been here before? So that's just one part of the park.
Oh, wow.
That's just the one part. Berlin is the ghost town that's right there as well. And really, they don't have much to do with each other than their proximity. They're only a mile or so apart, the fossil site and the town.
So in the late 1800s, they were also a gold town of some sort?
Yeah, it was silver and then gold mining. Really struck it rich in the late 1890s. The town was only around for a couple of decades, if that. It died out about 1911. And then that was it. It really became a ghost town almost immediately. The mine dried up. Although, we've talked in the past about rock hounding.
Yeah.
The tailings are still there. And, back at the turn of I don't recommend going out and picking up rocks. Not allowed. But it really is cool to see these huge mounds of rocks that still have gold in them, because early 1900s the technology wasn't really that great to get all the get all the rock out. So the town is your basic Western mining town. It had,
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's very.
Well, that's why it rivals Bodie. It's got dinosaurs and a ghost
yeah,
town.
yeah. Who knew? Hopefully no ghost dinosaurs. I don't know.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. There was a hospital, a store, just the regular Western town buildings, old house sites, so you can see who lived there, what their jobs were. There was of course, always a Nevada town has to have a prostitute, so there's the town prostitute there. It's a family show. We won't go into it.
That's how those rumors got started.
Yeah. And it's all really, really well maintained. There's an old beat-up car that it just looks like it's from a movie set or something. One of the pictures rotating is that as well. It looks like it was placed there on purpose, but it really wasn't. This is just the way the town kind of died out.
Wow.
It's an amazing, amazing find. It's about 3 hours, I think I said that, from Carson City, so it's a day trip. But we need those, we need day trips. We need to get out for a weekend and
get out away from home and do a little day trip. That's fun.
Yeah.
Plus, you got a dinosaur, a ghost town. You got tailings,
Yeah, got everything you could want. There's some great hiking around there. Stay on trails, because as I learned, I didn't see one, but I was told by everybody that ran into, there's rattlesnakes. I almost didn't get out of the car, but I'm so glad I did. It was so worth it.
I've heard that a lot, but yet I can't find the rattlesnakes yet.
Yeah, I've seen one since I've lived here, about 7 years now, so thank God. Let's keep it at that rate.
Yes.
I don't want to see any.
Well, it sounded like a fun, and you said you took a lot of pictures, too.
Took a ton of pictures. This is a place that just begs to be photographed. It really does. The bright blue sky, the sagebrush, the rusted nails, and all kinds of good stuff. It begs to be photographed.
Well, do you need to call someone before you go down there to get into this park?
Check the website. The website is nvparks.gov, and then you can look for Berlin Ichthyosaur. Admission into the park is $7 per vehicle, so you want to make sure you have cash on you, cash your checks, because there's no ATM machines out there.
Oh, well, the park's not that strict, but cash is always good.
Right, right. So $7 to get in, $3 I believe for the tours. And then there's also the mine that we haven't talked about yet. So.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and I took some pictures of the aquatic trail that I didn't get a chance to put on the show yet. And from April to June in Carson City, they had this the runoff from the mountains, and it's absolutely exciting. So I took some pictures and put it to a song, and I hope you enjoy the aquatic trail in Carson City, and we'll be right back. Thank you. And we're back with Bethany Drysdale, the Nevada Department of Tourism. And now again, for our audience, where exactly is Berlin? I'm not quite sure yet.
It's, if you picture Highway 50 going east, you're going to go out past Fallon, Fernley Fallon, that whole direction out there.
Okay.
At Middlegate, you're going to turn right onto 361.
That's
and if you
easy.
picture the map, you could go down 361. Or if you were in the west and went down 95 through Hawthorne, those two roads would converge down toward the south. So
That's
it creates
not-
kind of a nice circle.
That's a nice drive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a good way to cut down through the middle of the state. You can get down toward, let's see, south of Austin. So anyway, it's right kind of in the middle of Nevada.
Well, I think Jeff said he's going to Google a map for us to help us out a little bit more, because this sounds like a pretty good day trip for the kids.
It's a great day trip from Carson City, from this whole region. You know, out past Middlegate is the Shoe Tree. I think we've talked about the Shoe Tree.
Shoe
in the
Tree's
past.
good. I like that.
It's right by there at Middlegate. So if you were to go out as far as Middlegate, stop by the Shoe Tree, stop at Middlegate to, you know, gas up and get a drink, whatever you like. It's a really popular place for bikers along Highway 50. So there's always some good local color there and
Oh.
traveling color.
Well, this time of year, it's just beautiful.
It is. The whole region is gorgeous. I would stick to the summer months. I know the tours are limited to the summer months, basically Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Is that when the park ranger's on duty?
Yeah, exactly, when they're on duty. It never really closes, but I don't know how accessible things are when the snow falls.
Could you call the local cultural affairs to find out, or?
You could call the state parks office, and they would direct you to the ranger. You could go on to NV Parks, or excuse me, parks.nv.gov
Okay.
and find out that way as well.
Yeah.
But it's not like they put a gate up and you can't come in afterward. It's, you know, everything in Nevada is open.
Well, that's the thing, but it's best things about Nevada. It is open. It's not, everything's not not gated. It's not a gated community. You
Right.
can go and see things, but it sounds like though it's something this special. You really might have a tour guide might help a lot.
Right. The
Because
tour-
dinosaur bones. I mean,
Yeah, to really know what you're looking at and get the feel for the importance of this find. It was really amazing that this is on the surface. They didn't have to dig, and they didn't have a hunch that there might be something there. It's basically an accidental find, and it's right there.
some guy's sitting on a rock
Yes.
eating his lunch, and
Yeah, basically.
he decides to bury his lunch and finds another one.
Yeah. Something else that struck me when I moved to Nevada was petroglyphs out Highway 50.
I remember those were beautiful.
They are, and it struck me that you can walk up a mountainside and see petroglyphs. These are ancient Indian carvings and paintings on rocks. This is that same sort of thing where this is some real ancient history. It should be in the Smithsonian somewhere, It's and it's right there where you can access it. You can take the family. Anybody can enjoy it.
Well, don't tell us Smithsonian.
Yeah, we don't want them to
We
know.
want to keep it here. They'll come here and take it away.
Yeah. The other really cool thing at this park is the Diana mine. This is the gold mine that made the money for the town back
Okay,
in
the original
1800s.
mine?
Yeah, the original mine. It was closed for a while because of safety issues, so they've recently kind of retrofitted it and opened it. This summer was the first full season for it to be open. And this is such a cool mine to walk into. It was carved out of solid stone.
Oh, wow.
So when you walk in, it is solid stone.
Well, it's hard to do a mine like that.
Yeah. What I remember from the tour, they only got a foot or so every couple of days. Like it's literally hard stone that they carved through.
Wow. And they did that for about 2 decades.
Yeah. I think once they got in past the initial chunk of rock, then it got a little easier. But it goes in a couple of miles. The tour only goes in, I believe, about a third of a mile.
Well, that's pretty far.
It is pretty far,
Yeah.
and you want to be fairly able to walk around. You can't. We don't want anybody who might trip, might be prone to tripping. I don't know how to say that politely, but.
Well, do they have like those, I don't know, like railroad tracks where they have the things going up and down?
They do.
Yeah.
They have an old cart in the middle, and
Yeah.
there are those tracks. So there's a pathway to walk on, but you have to be careful. They actually give you an old helmet with the light
Ooh.
on it to wear.
I always like those.
Yeah, the hard hats. And they check you in and out just as the miners did. There's a little peg board, and they put your name down, what time you went in, who you're with, what number your peg is.
They have a little bird for breathing.
No, none of those. No, not one of those. When you come back out, though, they mark off that you've made it back out, so they know who's in the mine and when and how many people are in
That's
there.
important.
It is important. It's very important.
I remember my friend Rob, hope you're watching, Rob, we decided to get rid of the group at Mammoth Caves in Kentucky, and they turned off the lights.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It was dark.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were able to catch up to the group by sheer luck, but
Yeah.
we were technically lost for a period of time. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, this way.
Bad idea.
The good thing is there's one way in, one way out, but they do turn off the lights for you so you can experience absolute darkness. It's just an amazing, eerie feeling.
It's not as much fun as it sounds.
No, it's not. But those mines, because they're so deep in the earth, they maintain a constant temperature. It's always about 60 degrees.
All right.
So in the winter, it was a great place for them to go warm up, and in the summer, a great time to cool off. They have artifacts that they've dug up in the mine, old lanterns that the miners used.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. What I like about this is it's not staged. It's not a place where they had to call some antique dealer and say what would have been here. These things were found there and they were left there.
Well, that's what I like about the Park Service is what they find is what they got, and they make sure that everything's presented very, very well.
They do.
So you're seeing the real deal. Everything's real in Nevada.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
not a fake thing.
Absolutely. It is such a great mine tour. I believe the mine tour is also $3, $2 for kids, but check parks.nv.gov to find out for sure. But
Well, that's worth it.
it is.
Yeah.
$3. I mean, I spend that on a coffee every morning, So really, $3 to go show your kids or show your friends, really a tangible piece of Nevada's history that you can touch and you can feel and you can smell. And it's
Well,
just
it's even
amazing.
better because it's something we don't talk about. It's a new piece of
Yeah.
history that I'm learning about tonight.
Yes, it's fascinating. So the mine tour is there. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So make sure you call ahead or check out the website to be sure that you're...
So it's open weekends
It's open
for
weekends.
having someone to help you out.
Right, to do the actual tour. But it is a very authentic experience. You go right in there and you feel like, wow, this is what the miners really experienced. Walk through town and see where they really lived, see where they really shopped. Go up to the Ichthyosaur fossil site, and I'm sure some of them had some fun up there too before it was a state park.
It sounds like the kind of place you can take your kids.
Yeah, you can take your kids there. Actually, there's great camping there too. They have really, really well-developed campsites. And there's always a ranger on duty.
So you can call and get campsite rental too?
Yeah, you can reserve campsite. It's enough off the beaten track that you don't get a lot of people that are out there to raise hell. It's people that really want to be there, want to see the surroundings, see what it's all about. So it's always a good atmosphere out there.
Someplace to go camping and have some quiet.
Yeah, have some quiet. And there's so much to see out there. Even if you were to go outside of the state park boundaries, there's so much to explore, so much to see. That area has a lot of hot springs, and I don't know of specific hot springs here, but I'm sure if you hike enough, you'd find some hot springs.
Well, I'm sure if you ask the park rangers if you're into a variety of other tasks that we're not talking about, they would know what's there.
Absolutely.
Where you could go hiking and biking and all those good things that we don't have on our list right now. But the park guys are great.
They are.
They just know their thing, and we're lucky.
Yeah. The ranger that did the tour when I was out there, I was amazed at how much he knew. And he knew it because he just was interested in wanting to read. He was an encyclopedia of information on just that state park. And he knew a lot about Nevada, but he really loves that park. He loves what he does. And so he just spends his time reading about it.
So that's his baby.
Yeah, it's his baby. Exactly. I mean, he has seen this thing through year after year. And those are the kind of rangers that you get at the Nevada state parks because they are there because they love it.
Well, this park sounds like it's relatively new, too, and undiscovered, because I found out a long time ago when I was younger that a lot of the places that are this special, people keep quiet about.
Yeah, I know.
So I think we're kind of spilling the beans a little bit, but it's okay. They probably could use some funding to have a little extra tourists now.
Yeah, the revenue is always good. Nevada is hurting like any other state, and they can always use the revenue from the state parks entrance fees. But the park's been there since the 50s, and it is still fairly undiscovered.
New.
Yeah, it's new. And
We've been doing this show for 3 years, and I haven't even heard about this one. So that's I thought I had heard about everything in Nevada. So this is another good one.
Yeah, there are 24 state parks, I believe. So there's a lot that people don't really know about. A lot of
Well, we're going to have to do more state parks because obviously you're jazzed about this
I
one.
am. Can you tell?
If you're jazzed, then that's a good one to go. That's a good test. It's the Bethany test.
Yeah.
Did she have a good time? Well, it was great.
Test of how much I loved it and how much coffee I've
Yeah,
had.
yeah. Well, you bring in, it just doesn't sound like it's a real thing. You got dinosaur bones and a ghost town in one.
Yeah, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but this is really, really an exciting find out there. So I don't know how better to say it, that it's just a cool place to go to see things that you would never see anywhere else. And again, I just went to Bodie. I loved Bodie, but Bodie doesn't have fossils. Bodie is really hard to get to. It's fascinating, but this is something we have right here.
This sounds like a good, easy day trip, and we're down to our last 40 seconds. Is there anything we should give out the park thing?
Sure,
again?
one more time, parks.nv.gov is the site, and then you can search for the specific park there.
So just check it out, and it sounds like a good day trip for you and your family to see a dinosaur bones and a ghost town. You can't get that. And thank you again, Bethany, for being on Nevada Trails.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and go check out Berlin and let us know how you like it. It's been Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Thank you.